students, how are you all? I'm sure you all are fine and taking good care of yourself. So children, let's begin with our next chapter, which is essay writing. What is an essay? An essay is, generally speaking, a written composition containing an expression of one's personal opinions or ideas on a subject. The subject is generally given to you and you are left to select and arrange your material. The process of selection and arrangement must always be completed before you begin to write your essay. ऐसे क्या होता है? ऐसे आप जनरली जब किसी चीज़ के बारे में लिखते हो या किसी टॉपिक पे लिखते हो और आपके जो कंपोजिशन है, आपको जो एक्सप्रेशन है वो उसी टॉपिक के आसपास घूमता है. ठीक है. Characteristics of a good essay. Unity. An essay must be a unity, developing on theme with a definite purpose. The subject must be clearly defined in the mind and kept in view throughout. Nothing that is not relevant to it should be admitted to the essay. Order. The essay should follow a certain ordered line throughout and come to a definite conclusion. It should not consist of haphazard reflections put down anyway. There should be not only unity of subject but also unity of treatment. Brevity. Generally, we have seen that school essays should not be so long. The limit should be about 300 words. Though of course there can be no strict rules as to length, which will depend on a good deal on the subject, but an essay should be short and concisely expressed. The personal touch. An essay is a written composition giving expression to one personal ideas or opinions on a subject, and this personal touch should not be lost or the essay will be colorless and devoid of individuality. Part of the essay. An essay is generally divided into paragraphs: the introduction, the body, the conclusion. ठीक है. तो बच्चों, आपके ऐसे में क्या होना चाहिए? यूनिटी होनी चाहिए, ऑर्डर होना चाहिए, मतलब आपके सीक्वेंस वगैरह. अगर आप किसी सीक्वेंस पे लिख रहे हो, किसी इंसिडेंट पे लिख रहे हो, तो आपका सीक्वेंस होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ठीक है. आपके ऐसे के 3 पार्ट्स होते हैं. एक होता है इंट्रोडक्शन, जब आप ऐसे के बारे में, टॉपिक के बारे में बताते हो. फिर होती है आपकी बॉडी, जब आप उसको और अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करते हो, कुछ पॉइंट्स वगैरह इंक्लूड करते हो और रीडर्स को और इंटरेस्ट आता है. एंड आता है आपका कंक्लूजन, जब आप कंक्लूड करते हो और एंड करते हो अपने पैराग्राफ को. Now the introduction. In a short essay, this should be very brief. It should not be bigger than the body of the essay itself. It generally consists of a very short paragraph, but it should always be very interesting. The introduction consists of a definition or explanation of the title. Sometimes it consists of a very brief story or some general remark relating to the given subject. The body of the essay. This is the main part of the essay. It consists of the fact, illustration, reflection of the writer on the given subject. Here you should follow closely on outline. The paragraph should be well constructed. The proper connection between one paragraph and another should show. Keep to the point. The conclusion, the ending like the beginning, should be short and striking. It should be natural. See that your essay does not come to an end abruptly. A simple sentence, sometimes if expressed properly, will make a good ending. A good way to conclude an essay is to give a short summary of the ideas contained in the middle part of the essay. As the writer says, the last sentence above all should be pleasing both to the mind and to the ear. Now, hints on essay writing. Bear in mind the following rules. Do not start writing at once. Think out carefully for 10 minutes or so what you are going to say. Set down the various ideas that come to you. Select your ideas carefully. In a short essay, you can deal with a few points only. Stick to these points. It is of no use to write down a lot of things that have nothing to do with the subject. If you do so, the result will be a bad essay. Arrange your ideas. You cannot write a good essay without a plan. So you must make a plan and arrange your ideas in such a way that they follow one another naturally. Divide your essays into paragraphs. Write a fresh paragraph on each point in plan. As a rule, 4 or 5 short paragraphs are enough for a short essay. Divide your essay into 3 parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Use simple words and short sentences. Be clear as well as brief. Be interesting as well as to the point. Revise carefully what you have written. Correct all mistakes in spelling, capital letters, grammar, punctuation, etc., such as truthfulness, cowardice, theft, etc. B. Social, political and domestic topics such as riches and poverty, caste, democracy, etc. C. Philosophical subjects such as right and wrong, reality, conciseness, etc. तो बच्चों ऐसे लिखते हुए आपको कुछ पॉइंट्स यहाँ पे दिए गए हैं, उन्हें हमें ध्यान में रखना चाहिए. जब आप ऐसे लिख लेते हो तो आपको ऐसे ध्यान से पढ़ना चाहिए कि उसमें कोई ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक या कोई भी स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक तो नहीं है. Now some example of reflective essays. Classification of essays: reflective essay, narrative essays, descriptive essays, argumentative essay, imaginative essays, expository essays. Reflective essays: a reflection is a thought on some subject, on an idea arising in the mind. So a reflective essay consists of reflections or thought on some topic which is generally of an abstract nature, for example, habits, qualities, etc. Patriotism: true and false. What patriotism means? False patriotism. True patriotism. Essay: breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never to himself had said, "This is my own, my native land." Sir Walter Scott. Patriotism, which means the love of land of one's birth, is indeed a noble virtue. The man who lacks it cannot be called a living man. He has, as Scott says, a dead soul. If his heart does not burn in him when he returns from a foreign land to his native country, he cannot be said to possess a patriotic soul. Such a worthless man does not deserve to exist. In modern times, the word have been so misused that it serves to conceal the most selfish aims and narrow passions. In the name of patriotism, people achieve their selfish ends. We must therefore distinguish between true and false patriotism. False patriotism is selfness on a vast scale. False patriots serve their country to satisfy their own private interest. They do not care for their country so much as for their selfish ends. There are others who preach my country right or wrong. Such patriots teach us false patriotism. They teach us we cannot love our country without hating other nations. This is not patriotism. If patriotism makes us narrow, selfish and jealous, it is not a virtue at all. Such patriotism disregards nations to the level of a herd of brutes. The true patriot, on the other hand, is an unselfish lover of his country. His sincere desire is to serve it in all possible ways. He is proud of his country. He loves to above everything itself. But that does not mean that he does not point out its fault, defects, sins and abuses. A true lover of his country cannot tolerate that abuses should flourish in it. Now he will criticize its policy of its be a wrong one. A true patriot is therefore anxious to see that his nation is right. He does not want it to be powerful first and right afterwards. That is the policy of a false patriot. A true patriot will refuse to follow the time-honored maxim. Everything is fair in love and war. He will never be unfair even in war. He will welcome defeat rather than be guilty of unfairness. Secondly, a true patriot will love peace and hate war. He will think 100 times before involving his country in war. He will recognize the rights of other nations and will do his best to prevent the outbreak of a war. Lastly, if a true patriot finds his country fighting for a true and just cause, he will be the first to lay down his life for his country. Such patriotism is one of the noblest virtue of man. पैट्रियोटिज्म के बारे में इस ऐसे में हमको बताया गया है, तो हमारा जो थीम था पैट्रियोटिज्म, उसी के इर्द गिर्द आप देख रहे हो ये ऐसी जो है वो चल रहा है. नाउ सेकंड, नैरेटिव ऐसे. A narrative essay consists mainly in the narration of some event or series of events. Narrative composition may be on such subjects as the following: incident, historical stories, biographies, an accident or natural disaster, A visit to a place of interest. Some examples of narrative essay. A visit to a exhibition. Last year, a grand exhibition was held in our town, and my friend and I went to see it one evening. Our first impression of entering the ground was that the whole thing looked like a fairyland. The vast space was decorated in magnificent, bright and gay colored and lit with countless lights. The men and women in their best holiday clothes were moving room corner to corner, admiring the beauty of all kinds of stall set up. These stalls were like small shops, and they had for show or for sale such goods as cloth, both ordinary and fancy household furnitures, various type of machinery, musical instruments, and numerous articles for daily use, all showing labels made in India. While the stalls made a very interesting sight, what attracted us most was the children's corner in the exhibition, which was crowded with boys and girls. All types of amusement could be seen here, such as a merry-go-round, a giant wheel with ambling boxes, wooden horses, dodge cars, a railway train, and other things. Each of these children and some grown-up even were seated and were having a most thrilling and exciting time. I too had my share of fun with my friends and returned some after enjoying a most delightful evening. तो बच्चों, ये जो ऐसे है, ये नैरेटिव ऐसे है. नैरेटिव कैसे है? क्योंकि जब आप किसी एग्जीबिशन में जाते हो या किसी जगह पे किसी प्लेस में आप विजिट करने जाते हो और फिर आकर के उसको नैरेट करते हो, जो आपने वहाँ पे देखा, जो आपने देखा, एक्सपीरियंस किया, तो वो आपका नैरेटिव ऐसे बन जाता है. तो ये जो ऐसे था, ये एग्जीबिशन के ऊपर था. एक बच्चा जो है वो एग्जीबिशन पे गया है और वो वहाँ पे विजिट किया हुआ अपना जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो शेयर कर रहा है. Now, descriptive essays. A descriptive essay consists of a description of some place or things such as animals, plants, minerals such as lion, tiger, etc. Tours, countries, buildings such as Amber Fort, etc. Aspect and phenomena of nature such as monsoon, sunlight, etc. Some example of descriptive essay. The elephant. Now that the mammoth is extinct, the elephant is the largest of all animals living and the strongest. It is a strange looking animal with its thick leg, huge side and back called hanging ears, small tail, little eyes, long white tusk, and above all its various uses. It draws up water by its trunk and can squirt it all over its body like a shower bath, and with it picks leaves from the trees and puts them into its mouth. In fact, its trunk serves the elephant as long arm and hand. Elephants look very clumsy and heavy, and yet they can move very quickly when they like. Elephants are found in India and in Africa. The African elephant differs in some point from the Indian, being larger, with longer tusks and big ears. In fact, the jungle and are naturally shy animals that keep away from men. Elephants, with their great size and strength, and find advertisement for vegetarianism, for they live entirely on leaves of trees, grass, roots, and bulbs. The elephant is a very intelligent animal, and its intelligence combined with its great strength makes it, when tamed, a very useful servant to man. And it has been trained to serve in various ways. Elephants can carry heavy loads, about 1,000 seer each, and they are used to draw heavy wagons and big guns that would require many horses. They are very skillful too in piling timbers. The trained elephant will kneel down, lift a heavy log of wood with its tusk, carry it to the place where it is wanted, and lay it exactly in position. Elephants are also trained for tiger hunting. The huntsmen sit in the hoda on the back of the elephant, which is driven and guided by the driver called the mahout, who squats on its neck. In this way, the hunters are carried through the thickest and at such a height that they can see and fire at the tiger when it is driven out. In old days, elephants were used in battles, and all Indian Rajas had their regiments of trained fighting elephants, and they still have their place in state processions when they are painted with bright colors and covered with silk and velvet cloths. In Africa, elephants are hunted mainly for their tusks, which are made of ivory and are very valuable. Their skin are so thick that an ordinary bullet will not pierce them, and very valuable. Their skin are so thick that an ordinary bullet will not pierce them, and so large guns called elephant guns are used to kill the animal. Manue elephants are caught to be tamed and trained, but catching elephant alive is difficult and dangerous work. For though the elephant is a shy wild animal when left alone, it can be a dangerous enemy. When attacked, elephants are generally caught alive in great traps or enclosures called kedas. They are either driven into these kedas or led into them by tame elephants called decoy, which are trained lead their wild brothers into captivity. तो बच्चों ये जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव ऐसे है ये किसके ऊपर है? ये एलिफेंट के ऊपर है. तो ऐसे ही आप डिस्क्रिप्टिव ऐसे जो है किसी और एलिफेंट या किसी और एनिमल के ऊपर आप बना सकते हैं. Now fourth, argumentative essay deal with advantages and disadvantages or for or against type of questions and require that a reasoned choice should be made between them. In this type of composition, you are required to concentrate one by one side only, either presenting a case or a popular point of view. Some example of argumentative essay. 40. Democracy is the best form of government. Give your views either for or against the statement for. It has become a fashion to sneer at democracy. People think only those governments succeed when there is a dictator at the top, where a strong man rules with an iron hand. Too much freedom, according to them, leads to chaos and anarchy. Let us first examine what democracy means. It is a form of government where those who control the government are elected by the people and are answerable or responsible for their action to the people. This keeps a healthy check on all their activities and prevents anyone from the government where those who control the government are elected by the people and are answerable or responsible for their action to the people. This keeps a healthy check on all their activities and prevents anyone from Britain. It has a monarchy, but its powerful are limited and there is a democratic rule. India, France, etc. Democracy also means a form of society where there is no privileged class and in which individual may rise to power because of ability and hard work. Democracy is also an ideal way of life because it lays emphasis on equality, liberty, brotherhood, tolerance and peaceful coexistence. Is there any alternative to all this? Look at the countries where there is a dictatorship. President Saddam has brought grief, calamity and war to his country. Look at Afghanistan. There is total anarchy, cultural, political and spiritual. Israel and Palestinian are still fighting. One is not giving up what is has taken by force and other is not giving up fighting for its right. Look at what happened in Bosnia, Croatia. Nothing was solved by war or terrorism. Finally, only democracy wins. The Soviet Russia was so powerful with communism, a form of dictatorship, but look how it ended. The dictators, the terrorists have short-lived success and in the end those who lived by the sword die by the sword. Will we end? We are a vast country with many religious, cultural, languages and unless we believe in equal rights and opportunity for all, we will be divided into fragments and play into our enemy's hand. Threats of nuclear war looms large and only same people believing firmly in democracy can save us. Democracy teaches us to be tolerant and peaceful. Democracy teaches us to be unselfish and work for a larger interest. for the good of the maximum number of people. Without a deal, we cannot have progress. Without tolerance, we cannot have peace. The world cannot afford war or dictatorship, and democracy is the best form of government for the world. तो बच्चों, जितने भी आपके आर्गुमेंटेटिव एसेज होते हैं वहाँ पे आप क्या करते हो, आर्गुमेंट करते हो. आपको एक टॉपिक दे दिया जाता है, अब उसके फॉर अगेंस्ट में अपने पॉइंट्स रखते हो. Fifth, imaginative essay. In an imaginative essay, one's imagination play a free part. Such subject as If I Were King or Adventures of a Rupee. Some example of imaginative essay. If I were a millionaire. If we look around, we find that there is too much of poverty in this world. There are some people who are so poor that they cannot have even 2 square meals a day. There are others who have not enough clothes to wear. Again, there are many who have no houses to live in. Some are so helpless that when they fall ill, they cannot send for the doctor or buy medicine. All this is very sad indeed. Now the question is, what would I do if I were a millionaire? If I were a millionaire, I would try to feed and clothe as many poor people as I could. I shall even provide some of them with houses. I shall open dispensaries where consultation fee will free. Medicines also will be supplied free of charge. In other words, I shall do everything in my power to put an end to as much of poverty and misery as I can. Besides doing these, I would like to do one or things more for the poor. For instance, I shall start night schools for them, where they will learn reading, writing and arithmetic. This will enable them to read newspapers and to take some interest in what is going on around them. If once they get interested in books, they will not waste their time and money on drinking. In fact, it has been said by a wise man that he who opens a school closes a prison. I think by giving education to the poor, I shall make them better men. There are some poor people who are able-bodied but have no work to do. All their life they have probably learned no useful trade. I shall try to open technological institute for such people where they may learn to do something useful with their own hands. There are many crafts which are very easy to learn. They do not require such capital or skill, but at the same time they bring enough money to support one's family with. I shall try to instruct the poor in such trades as might enable them to earn their livelihood with dignity and independence. I would open as many libraries and reading rooms for the poor as I can. These will be at convenient places to which the poor can have access without any difficulty. There they will get newspapers and magazines to read. These will give them all the news that they want. But in addition to these, they will have fine books to read. There will be biographies, stories, books on history and travel. In short, they will get there such books as will inspire them a good deal. I remember once I gave a poor man the biography of a great man to read. After a few days, he came back to me and said, "It is a very fine book. How I should like to be great man like him." He was also poor like me once, but he became great by dint of hard work. Who knows, I too may rise in life one day. There are some of the things I will do for the poor. तो बच्चों, इमेजिनरी जो एसेज होते हैं यहाँ पे आपको इमेजिनेशन करके ये बोला जाता है कि आप इमेजिनेशन करो कि आप एक मिलियनर बन गए हो और फिर आपको ऐसे लिखना है. अगर आप मिलियनर बन जाओगे तो आप क्या क्या चीज़ें करोगे. ठीक है. नाउ expository essays. And expository essays consist of an exposition or explanation of some subject, i.e. industries, occupation such as farming, etc., scientific topics such as gravitation, etc., literary topics such as the genius of Shakespeare. Some example of expository essays: Union is strength. Outline: Aesop's fable true in games, in schools or towns, committees in war. United we stand, divide we fall. Essay: In Aesop's fable there are a story which tells how an old man is troubled to find his sons always quarreling among themselves. He is afraid that the family will be quite broken up when dies. He is anxious to leave behind a united family, so he asked his son to bring a bundle of sticks, then tells them to break the bundle. Each of them try in turn, but though they are strong, they fall to break the sticks. Then he unties the sticks and tell them to break each stick by itself. Now they easily break the sticks. It is in this way that the old man impresses upon his sons that union is strength. He tells them that if they live together as one family, they will be strong. But they quarrel among themselves and live separately, they will be weak. Take a football or a hockey team. If the member of the team play together and help one another, they will form a strong team. It will be very difficult for the other team to defeat them. But if they are split up into groups when they play in match, they will surely be defeated. Sometimes a school or a college suffers seriously because the members of the staff are divided. They quarrel among themselves and neglect their works. The result is that the reputation of the school or the college goes down. Its bad reputation spreads abroad. Often a while town suffer because the municipal committee is divided into parties which, instead of looking after the sanitation of the streets, hospitals, schools, workhouses, water supply or education, spend their time in throwing mud at one another. The same is true in war. A large army whose officers are not united among themselves is very easily beaten by the smaller but united army. It is the maximum of Napoleon, divide and conquer. He won some of his great victories eight, or he would weaken a strong nation by dividing it up into quarreling parties, and then he would crush it. The same plan is adopted by those governments that want to rule another nation. They follow the policy divide and rule. They would create dimensions in a nation and then rule it. It is true, united we stand, divided we fall. तो बच्चों ये था एग्जाम्पल आपके एक्सपोजिटरी एसेज का। तो बच्चों आई होप आपको एसे राइटिंग का ये चैप्टर अच्छे से समझ में आ गया होगा। अब इसका रिवीजन और दी गई एक्सरसाइज की प्रैक्टिस आप खुद से करेंगे।